Welcome to Christ for Life. Thank you for tuning in. As you can see, we've changed our venue, our studio a little bit. Today we're going to be talking about peace. Peace is our key word. And in particular, I want to focus on how important peace is in our life and really how coveted it is and certainly should be. Yesterday, as I was talking to one of our children who was writing a little bit about her experiences in the COVID-19 shutdown and lockdown and isolation. She's a really good writer. And one of the things that she wrote as she was thinking through her experiences, she wrote this. She said, "If rivers hate anything, it's having no destination." And as I read that in her reflections on the day, that thought just started to resonate in my mind and my heart. If rivers hate anything, it's no destination. And that is that rivers love to flow somewhere. And as I was contemplating that, I was thinking about the word peace. And sometimes we desire peace or we pursue peace in and of itself. But I started to think, is that really the purpose of peace? Is peace something that we should just acquire? Or is there an action to peace? Is there some result, some pursuit that comes out of peace? Just like a river shouldn't just flow to nothing, as we see with the Dead Sea, it just stops there and everything is dead. But a river should flow somewhere, and peace should flow somewhere. And so I want to read to you Luke 24, and I want to begin in Luke 24, verse 36. While they were still talking about this, Jesus himself stood among them and said to them, "Peace be with you." Of course, this is after the resurrection. And they were startled and frightened, thinking they saw a ghost. He said to them, "Why are you troubled? And why do doubts rise in your minds? Look at my hands and my feet. It is I myself. Touch me and see. A ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you see I have." And then they continue on in this dialogue. And he said to them, this is verse 44, "This is what I told you while I was still with you. Everything must be fulfilled that is written about me in the law of Moses, the prophets, and the Psalms." Then he opened their minds so they could understand the scriptures. He told them, "This is what is written. The Christ will suffer and rise from the dead on the third day, and repentance and forgiveness of sins will be preached in his name to all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. You are my witnesses of these things. I am going to send you what my Father has promised, but stay in the city until you have been clothed with power from on high." And you think about this for a second. Look at over here when Jesus says, okay, "Peace be with you." So in verse 36, he appears to them and he gives them peace. Peace be with you. But then he says, "You are going to be my witnesses to all the things that I have said. And this gospel," he says, "this gospel must be preached." Okay? And he says it right here. He says, "And repentance and forgiveness of sins will be preached in his name to all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. You are my witnesses," or "you are witnesses of these things." And he says, stay in Jerusalem. Okay? "I'm going to send you what my Father has promised, but stay in the city until you have been clothed with power from on high." So notice that he gives them peace. He says, "Peace be with you." But he doesn't say, "Oh, by the way, peace be with you," and just stay where you're at. Just live here for the rest of your life, tucked away from all trouble. No. Peace be with you. And you're going to be my witnesses. Peace be with you. And that peace is going to flow somewhere like a river flows. So my peace flows. And so these thoughts came to mind. And that is this, that peace is more coveted than money or fame or anything. Because see, you could be famous but miserable without peace. You could be wealthy and without peace and miserable. You could be healthy and without peace and be miserable. But if you are obscure with no fame and peaceful, you have a lot. If you are not rich but you have peace, you have a lot. And even if you're not healthy but you have peace, you have a lot. Peace is important. It's highly coveted and should be in our day, but peace is not the destination. Just like he was saying to them, "Peace be with you," but you're going to go. You're going to be my witnesses. You see, in our day, peace should flow from us. It's not something that we just keep to ourselves. And so here's a thought I wanted to share with you. What if peace was not about having it, but about what you did with it? And so as Jesus says to them, peace be with you, and oh, you're going to be witnesses. Maybe in our life, we could ask that question. Maybe peace is not about having it, but more about what we do with it. Would you pursue peace and then let it flow from you in and through your life? What will you do with peace in your life? Will you share the gospel of Jesus Christ? Will you take that peace and let it flow through you like a river flows? If rivers hate anything, it's having no destination. And peace hoarded is no peace at all. Let peace flow through you. Peace is less about having it and more about doing something with it. God bless you all. We'll see you soon.